So, have you ever thought about migrating to another country? Why or why not?
So to many people, then I think that the reason why they migrating to another country is they want to find a new job that more suitable and have a more handsome salary. However, in my opinion, then I find traveling across overseas, then there's I have to really have a distance with my family. So if my family having having some illness or having something like pretty emergency, then I won't have time to go back to my country to solve it. So in my opinion, then I won't migration at least in person. Do many people in your country move abroad? What are their reasons?
So, as far as I'm concerned, actually, there are a astonishingly high amount of Vietnamese who migrate for various reasons, but mainly economical and political reason, right? So, as you may know, Vietnam has a pretty, you know, dark past with a good portion of the Vietnamese from the south, mainly uh, Saigon or Ho Chi Minh cities, uh, in today's words, actually migrate to America in order to avoid the Viet Cong during the revolution and the unification, right? So, mm, you know, uh, they dislike the uh, operation the and communism in general. So many people decide to get out of the country in order to find a new life, and of course to avoid communism, which that's in the past. And nowadays, I think most people uh, migrate to other country for mainly economical reasons. So, especially to have better job prospect, especially countries that offers uh, that offers scholarship and things down the line that support um, you know migrate migrator. So those are the common reasons I could think of. Okay. Do you think migration is becoming more common nowadays?
So in my perspective, and I find that migration is actually a trendy tendency that can occur in many individuals since the living standard in their country is not suitable for their for the demand, so they have to move out to the another country to live. And another reason why most people really disagree with the authority of their country that they have to move out to another nations so they can adapt a new regulation that more suitable for them. So, for example, when they are not um, they can live in the same world with the communism and they are like disagree with with their old country's government, then they can go to another country to live, to work a job and to have a job in there. And also the the currency in in that country also be more having more valuable. So their effort of working as a job of occupation is actually worth more money, and they can have more cash to spend. So yeah, I think that was the reason why it's getting more common and universal nowadays in terms of migration. Is it common for people to migrate from rural to urban areas in your country?
Definitely, because urban areas just have a higher job prospect, and so overall better living condition, and so for examples, a lot of students and young people from rural area tend to travel to the urban and the large cities like Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh in order to have a better education in the top universities in the country, or you know uh, find better jobs that you know find better job offers and new opportunities that the rural area just is cannot afford. So definitely, I mean, it's somewhere in a country, especially like in Vietnam, urban area like large cities receive a lot of financial support, and also is the center of trade and the job market. So it's only natural for people to uh, gravitate toward these areas. What are the challenges people face when they migrate into a new place?
So, in my opinion, there are various things that the obstacles that the migrate people have to face every time they go to a new country. And the most significant that I would say is going to be this cultural shock. And mostly the reason why I think this is going to be a very difficult things to face is because whenever you are already adapt and get used to some of the control in your original country. And when you go to the newer one, then you're gonna definitely have to adopt new regulation, new control, new traditions, and you have to learn how people communicating, and also is like in addition, then you're gonna have to learn their language. I'm not talking about some of the country that using English, which is it's like a international language. I'm talking about the those languages that it pretty just take a minority of the population. That whenever you go to that country, you have to learn a new language, which is a very serious challenge if you don't learn the learn that language properly. So yeah, I think those two reasons why, and two challenges that the people migrating have to face. Have any of your family members migrated to another country?
Well, as far as I know, within my family and my close relative, I don't know anyone who have migrated to another country because most of the family members grew up in Vietnam and live as a Vietnamese, and they have already have a stable income and a stable life here. So um, all my family really don't have any reason to migrate into other countries. However, I uh, do know some friends who moved to other nation, but it's not within the scope of this discussion. So there's that. What are the some reasons why people move from one country to another?
So as I said before, there are like many reasons why, and two of it is going to be their financial status and also their disagreements with their originals authorities policies. And yeah, in terms of financial, then I would think that they move out overseas to finding their dream job, which is pay them to pay their bills, and also they want to upgrade their like living standard by going to a developed country instead of just living in developing country, which is pretty a challenge for someone who like don't have many skills, and go to a new country, then they're gonna learn a lot of new skills so they can like maintain and reinforce their financial status. And in terms of the policies that they disagree with, then I will say that it's pretty like not very common, mostly because in Vietnam people are already like pretty satisfied and agree with most of the regulations, so there are no reason to move out. However, when it there are always some people are having hold that opinion that our government are having um, like pretty a bad operation and can cause some of the negative effect to the residents. And then yeah, I think that was two reasons that people move to another country. Do you think migration has positive or negative effects on society?
Well, to be honest, I think migration overall does more harm than good to a society. However, there are certainly some uh, silver lining in this movement, right? So, but however, mainly I do think that migration only benefits the host country. So, for example, people from like China, Mexico migrate to USA, then USA will be the one who benefits from it because now they have a diverse group of people who offers very unique, almost niche knowledge and set of skills that can greatly benefit a country economy and like overall society structure, especially for a cultural part like America, right? However, the country that unfortunately lost its citizens will suffer substantial damage. So, take for example, in Vietnam, there is a pretty popular competition named the Way to Olympia. I really don't know how to translate into Vietnamese, but basically, there's a lot of smart people who compete in these competition, and those who receive the first prize will have a chance to a full scholarship to like somewhere like Australia, for example. However, the thing is that most of them decide to permanently stay on that the rewarded country instead of coming back to Vietnam and contribute their newfound knowledge and skills to support and build the country, which a lot of people are referring to the great loss of Great Matter, and this, as you can see, greatly damaged the economy and progression of a country, especially for the loss of uh, a smart and high potential generations like as I said for the competitors from say program, right? So yeah, overall I would say that the advantages is really getting overshadowed by the drawbacks that migration is bestows on countries. So uh, so lastly, describe a person you know who migrated to another country. You should say who the person is, why they decide to migrate, where they migrated to, and explain how migration has affected their life.
So, according to some of the stories that I've been told by my parents and grandparents, and I actually have an uncle that moved to USA illegally and has become a refugee. However, after some years in the prison and have to like um, being tortured and have to learn the language or something, then in the following years, then my uncle are actually being being give a passport and change his identification to USA. And yeah, I think I find that pretty strange because as a prison, and I don't think I can be a an official USA resident. However, I still believe it. And also, so in some into to get into be more detailed, then the reason why my uncle are like decided to go to that country is because he went to find something new, which is which is pretty strange because he already have a stable financial in Vietnam. He have a wife, two kids, and they're both an adults now. However, he still decided to go to the USA like alone and is like legal illegally, so he cannot like go there by plane. They have to like go by train and somehow cross the borderline and being arrested. However, while after being jailed for 10 or 15 years, then he found a pretty stable job, and he permanently be a like office agency that working for Amazon, which is I find it pretty interesting because I start as a prison and now he's an employee for Amazon, which is the biggest company in dropshipping of all time. And yeah, he also having good life, having a foreign wife, and also has his own mixed children. And he also divorced with his old wife. And yeah, and I think that was the story that my parent told me. So describe a person you know who migrated to another country.
So I would like to talk about a friend of mine who well uh, migrate to Australia. So from what I've known, uh, pretty much all his family members decide to move to this country because for several benefits. So including a better education, uh, better job prospect, and also better welfare, which in Vietnam wouldn't be able to you know which the Vietnamese government wouldn't be able to provide them with the same amount of kind of quality, right? And he said to me that his parents really want their children to develop to become a more well-rounded person and live a better life. So all of them decide to migrate to Australia. Now, he is not a person from a low-class citizens from like the a dirty part of the society, for that matter. His family is actually a pretty wealthy a pretty wealthy group, so that's why they were able to cover all the fees and transaction and all the process to move into Australia, and also and in addition, his parents also have a huge market, a huge company chain. So they really want to expand their market to a wider and more potential customer. So I think there's a lot of factors playing into the reason they move, right? And I think at the moment he's living in Melbourne. He's the same age as me, so he's still in high school. And sometimes we make some call. We make some calls and share our experience and what's going on each respective nations, or maybe new countries for that matter. And ever since he moved there about like 2 years ago, he explained there's a lot of hurdle his family have faces, mainly culture shock and health problem because Australian doesn't have the same diet as Vietnamese, who mainly like eat a very different bread of rice. Many of them are carb based dishes diet, and so when they moved to Australia, having uh, this very different diet and way of living, the working hours, etc., really damaged their health. But eventually, did they were able to adapt to the new circumstances, and now they are living pretty happily uh, in Australia. So I guess I'm happy for them, and that's about it.